Amazing Waffle directed by Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Meet Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Once upon a time, there was a youngest named Goldilocks who lived at the edge of the forest. She was called Goldilocks because her beautiful locks glittered in the sun like gold. Goldilocks was confused by the nature. She often looked for found adventures in the forest. One bright morning, she set out for a conquest in the woods. She came upon as cozies, cottage and pigs in the windows. When she didn't see anyone inside, she knocked on the door. When nobody came to the door, she turned the handles and went right in. Goldilocks didn't not have the best manner in the forest. Goldilocks didn't realize that the cortex belongs to a family of bears. There was a teeny-sized baby bear, a medium-sized mama bear, and a huge-sized papa bear. Goldilocks also didn't realize that the bear's family had a daily mornings cartoons. After Papa Bear made a steaming pot of porridge, the family went blueberries. Pigs this way, porridge had time to cool, and they had plum sweet blueberries to plop in their porridge. Goldilocks makes herself at home. The first thing Goldilocks notice when she walks into the cornflakes was the 3 steaming bowls of porridge sitting on the tables. The rich sweet smell porridge made her stomach glowed with hunger. Goldilocks couldn't resist, so she took a heaping spoonful of the porridge from Papa Bear's huge bowl. "Now," she yelled, finding her mouth in the porridge. It has hot as lava. Then Goldilocks started the porridge from Mama Bear's medium-sized bowl. "Yeah, black," she yawned, pushing the bowl away. "This porridge is as cold as Galator." Next, Goldilocks stirred the porridge from teeny baby bear's small bowls, and with closed eyes sighed a happy, "This porridge isn't just good," she says aloud. "It's great. In fact, it's just right." And she quickly gulps up every last bit of teeny baby bear's porridge. After eating the porridge, Goldilocks was confused about the rest of the cortex, so she jumped into the living room. She saw 3 bears and decided to sit for a bit, for she felt quite full. First, she sat in Papa Bear's huge bed, but jumps up with a scowl on her face. She hoped. "This is a big extra." Then Goldilocks sat in Mama Bear's medium-sized chairs and against jumping up instead. This chair is still too big. She went next. Goldilocks sat in a tiny baby bear's small chest and began to poach with glee. This chair is just for little comfortable. She beats it's really comfortable. In face is just crack, right? Oh well, she yawned. She didn't have the energy to fix the box chair. As asleep, Goldilocks climbed the stairs, reaching for a bed. She slumped onto the first bed. She saw Peppa Bear's huge bed. No, 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 she complained. This bed is hard as grimace. Then she flops on Mama Bear's medium-sized bed. She screamed, "Help! I'm sinking!" After a stitch, she finally climbed out of the middle of the mattress. This bed is soft. It's as soft as again as soft as after a huge family come out of a bed is as soft as against girl eating cotton. Ai chở em về.
Em vừa chạy bộ về á.
Out in the middle discounts of blankets and pillows. When Goldilocks flops onto Tinny, her eyes and whistles. This bed isn't just a little comfy and cozy. It's really comfy and cozy. In the fact, it's just bags from Blueberry Piggy. While Goldilocks sleeps, the owners of the house return some blueberries. Peppa Bear carry a huge basket brimmed with blueberries. Mama Bear carry a medium-sized basket brimming with blueberries, and teeny baby Bear carry a small basket brimmed with blueberries. The three bears were not prepared for what they found. When they opened their cottage door, "Someone's been eating my porridge," growled Papa Bear in a huge bear growl. "Someone been eating my porridge," growled Mama Bear in a medium bear growled. "Someone been eating my porridge," growled Tiny Bear in a teeny growl. "And it's all gone." Next, the hungry bears walked into the living room. They saw the chairs. "Someone been sitting in my chairs," growled Papa Bear in a huge bear growl. "Oh, someone been sitting in my chair," growled Mama Bear in a medium bear growl. "Someone been sitting in my chair," growled teeny baby bear in a teeny bear growl, and it's broken in hundreds of pieces. Then the hungry angry bears marches. Then the hungry angry bears march up noises up the stairs. "Someone's been sleeping in my bed," growled Papa Bear in a huge growl. "Someone been sleeping in my bed," growled Mama Bear in a medium growl. "Someone been sleeping in my bed," growled Teeny Baby Bear in a teeny growl. "And she's still there." "Shh, I'm trying to sleep," whined Goldilocks. "Help! Help!" when she saw three hungry, angry bears stare at her.
ไอ้ควายทางนี้เขาหมา
Stare at her. Stare at her. She leaped out of bed. Help! She screamed, running down the steps, past the chairs, past the bowls of porridge, and out the door. Goldilocks never went to the home of three bears. But she didn't often daydreams about that delicious bowl of porridge in the perfect little wooden chair and the cozy bed. They really was just right. Goodbye.